T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Roger, we got a roll program.
Tower cleared.
Roger, roll. Complete and emissions program. One Bravo. Apollo 11 Houston, you're good at 1 minute.
Shutdown right on time.
1.4 by 103.6. Roger, shut down, and we copy 101.4 by 103.6. Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are confirmed to go for orbit. Roger. Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are go for TLI, over. Apollo 11, thank you. Roger out. Ignition. We confirm ignition and the thrust is go. Apollo 11, this is Houston at 1 minute. Trajectory and guidance look good, and the stage is good. Over. Apollo 11, Roger.
35,000 feet per second. Cut off. Going velocity 35,570 feet per second. Altitude 177 nautical miles.
Houston, Apollo 11, this gave us a magnificent ride. Roger 11, we'll pass that on, and it's going to look like you're on your way now.
Yes, Leo.
Welcome, guys. It is 2:08 p.m. here in Florida, and this is going to be a short one, man. It's going to be a short Lightspeed Lounge live stream. My daughter went down for a nap a little later than normal. She fell asleep like 15 minutes ago or so. I kept her up a little longer just because we were having fun playing around. And then, you know, it wears her out. We read some books. But yeah, man, so this is a short Lightspeed Lounge live stream. Let's hang out, shoot the shit, whatever you guys want to talk about. And it's going to be a longer one tonight, probably an hour-long live stream tonight, because Grant Guthrie, Grant, who is in the house right now, his nostalgia game is Star Wars Starfighter. And I bought it on Steam the other day. I installed it. I'm going to fire it up after this stream just to test it, just to see if it works, just to see if I'm able to stream it. I am really hopeful, man, that I'm able to stream it with no issues. We shall see. I know a lot of older games, it's a hit or miss on whether or not it's going to work smoothly. Oh, man, I hope so. I hope so, dude. Oh, or I will be disappointed, and I'm sure you will be too. If it's not working, Grant, I'll probably put a little. I'll throw a tweet out there just to give you a heads up, just to give everybody a heads up, because I feel like I've pumped it up over the past couple days of streaming, just telling everybody that I'm going to be doing this. And maybe we'll do just another Lightspeed Lounge tonight, but we'll see. We'll see, man. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, right? We shall see. I am unable to stream the two games that I've tried recently.
I'm so glad
oh, one sec.
EMT/fire training soon. You can come save me when I die from this new exercise routine. Feels great, but this M4 is out of shape. Down 6 pounds though.
Oh, there's a goal on the horizon, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Congratulations, Took. And Ian Fox, thank you guys both so much. And Carter coming in before the stream even technically began. Thank you guys so much. 3 super chats and channel supports in a row. I greatly appreciate it, gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so crossing my fingers, man. I tried recently to play the pod racing game. Unable to stream it. I can't minimize it. My streaming software, I've tried 2 streaming softwares. It does not recognize it as a program. Even if I just try to stream my desktop, it's just a black screen. Does not work. I don't know. Same exact thing for Rogue Squadron. 2 games that I've really wanted to stream. So, we shall see. But Carter Lovejoy comes in with the first super chat. He says, what are your thoughts on Tron and Tron Legacy? So, I don't really have a long history with Tron, Carter, as a franchise. The first time that I ever saw Tron was when I went to a college in Orlando. I went to a college in Orlando in 2006, like going into 2006, basically. And it was like a computer animation gaming school, tech college, just a bunch of nerds, and it was a blast. And everybody there, like, loved Tron. Tron was like this cult classic at this school. Professors, teachers, I'm not going to call them professors. They were not professors. They're like just people that have worked in the industry and maybe like 3D modeled some shit once teaching a class. But everybody was talking about Tron. Tron was this like cult classic at this school. I had never seen it. So we had a Tron night, and I barely remember, to tell you the truth. I remember more of Legacy just because I had seen it. I mean, that came out, what, less than 10 years ago or something like that? Let me look that up. Tron Legacy. Oh, Tron Legacy. Came out in 2010. So, like, exactly 10 years ago. That's crazy. So, yeah, I remember more of that movie than I do the original Tron. And that's just because I've seen it more recently. And I barely remember that movie. So, yeah, it's not a franchise that I've ever really been that into. It's not a franchise that I've ever followed or been that interested in, to tell you the truth. But it was interesting to be at that school and just have so many people love that movie, and me just, you know, I had heard of it, but then I had finally seen it. And, you know, it didn't blow me away. I think maybe one of the reasons that the original Tron didn't blow me away, after I had seen it so late, I came so late to the party, as I often do, is because I had seen maybe some things like it, or maybe people have taken the Tron ideas and applied them to newer movies and stuff like that. I'm sure there's other examples of movies like that, right? Like, maybe a kid nowadays, in 2020, watching The Matrix, maybe it wouldn't impact them as much as it would have if they saw it in 99 like I did. That was such a monumental, huge movie. So many layers, so interesting, so fun. And obviously, Matrix has been kind of... So many people have taken ideas from the Matrix or even action sequences from the Matrix and applied it to newer stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why Tron never really impacted me that much, you know? But anyway, I appreciate that, Carter. And Ian Fox and Took. Ian Fox, thank you so much, man. HelloGreedo, just had surgery and I'm lounging in recovery right now. This stream came at a great time. Well, shit, man. I'm glad you're able to sit back and hang out for a little bit. I hope it was nothing too crazy. I don't think you've... I could be wrong, Ian, but I feel like... Have you mentioned on... I don't think you've mentioned it on the stream. But, no, I don't want to poke and prod. But I hope everything's going all right. I hope the recovery is quick. And I don't know what you're able to eat, but if I was in your situation and I was able to eat... Why do I always fucking go right to food, Ian? Why do these streams... I always go to food. Oh, I'm in a hospital. I'm laying in a hospital, nowhere to go. What am I going to eat? I'm going to order pizza. That's what I would do if you're able to. But Ian, sit back. Hope you're all right. If everybody could do me a favor in the stream and give a big thumbs up emoji in the chat for Ian, just to get well, I would greatly appreciate it. But Ian, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and yeah, hope the recovery is quick. Hope the surgery went well. But I appreciate that, man. And Took17, thank you so much as well. Took says, I'm so glad you are EMT fire training soon. You can come save me when I die from this new exercise routine. Feels great, but this motherfucker is out of shape. Down 6 pounds though. Hell yeah. I always weigh myself after a run. That's my like little, like, I don't know. I always work weigh myself after I do a run. I did, let's see the exact length. 5.4 miles this morning, and it felt good. I was really pumped for this morning's run, Took, because lately I've been looking at my app, which an app called ISS Detector, and it's basically an International Space Station tracker. And you know, occasionally, the other day I was out on a run. The International Space Station was going by at like 5:45 in the morning, and I saw it. And maybe it was later than that. It was like 6:15 or something like that. But I saw it and I was like, hell yeah. So every morning before I run, now I will look at my phone, that app, and see if anything's going to be zooming overhead. And it said Starlink. One of Elon Musk's Starlink satellite chains was going to be flying overhead. And I was looking for it, and I just didn't see it. I don't know if it's because it was behind some trees along the sidewalk and it was just like out of view. I kept looking around every corner, never saw it, but maybe next time. So keep it up, man. It's only 1 mile at a time for me. That's how you start. That's all you need. You know, a month of running 1 mile, dude, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, I go 1 mile. Oh, I can go 2 miles. Oh, I went 2 miles. I can go 3 miles. What's another, like, you know, I don't know what your pace is, but like, what's another 10 minutes if you're running a 10-minute mile? What's another 10 minutes, you know, for another 100 calories? You know, what is it? You know, it's nothing. That's the way my brain processes it. Yeah, I started Took in March, late March, and I was running 2 miles at like a 10-minute pace, and that was pushing the stroller. Now instead of doing it like running with my daughter, because it's so hot now, my wife will go to our neighborhood gym. She'll get back at like 5:45, and then I'll take off and I'll run 5 miles and then get back. And that's, yeah, I just kind of forced myself. Oh, I went, you know, 4 miles, I go 5 miles. But I went from 2 miles to 5.5 miles, and I want to go further now. But it's just kind of a time thing, because by the time I get back, my daughter's usually been up for like 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. Get into a routine. And yeah, I'm super excited to get into the training. It was pushed back until January just because, you know, the virus and everything. I've been in contact with some folks via email about registering and whatnot. And since April, And yeah, man, it'll be here before we know it. I can't wait. It's yeah. Then run faster, Greedo. Shit, man, I'm at like this morning's pace was like 750 something. It was like 750 something for 5.5 miles. That's a good pace for my 34-year-old ass. That's a good pace for anybody's ass. But yeah, man, keep it up, Tuke. Keep that shit up. Don't let it stop. It's all about, like, I find the hardest part about it, too, is, like, finding time. We're at a really good routine now to where, you know, we wake up and we knock it out and, oh, one sec. Ah, crap. One sec, guys. Let me mute my phone. Blah. All right. What was I? So, yeah, it's all about routine. It's all about finding time. But that's it. Anyway, too, keep it up, man. I appreciate that. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the channel support. Let me scroll up because it's all out of order on my screen. Vince says, Dr. Sleep 2019. That's with Ewan McGregor, right? Dr. Sleep. Oh, no, I'm not. Is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Is this... Yeah, okay, this is what I was thinking it was. It was the, oh, what's that movie? Yeah. Shit, is that what it's, yeah, The Shining, that's right, The Shining. The sequel, it's a prequel, right? Oh, no, it's a sequel because it's the son. Okay. My wife likes The Shining a lot. I've never been that big of a fan of it for whatever reason. You know, I've seen it a bunch of times, and it's never really been anything that's jumped out to me for whatever reason. Let me look up Dr. Sleep, Rotten Tomatoes, 77, 89. All right. This will be a good one in October when we're gearing up for Halloween. I appreciate the recommendation, man. Yeah, this was on my radar when it first kind of poked its head out, and I remember seeing some trailers for it, but other than that, I don't really know anything about it. And maybe that's the way I should jump into it, right? But I appreciate that. And also, cheers right back to you, man. I got a little cup of water today. No coffee. Just water. Cheers, little pear-shaped green emoji with a mug full of cranberry juice. I appreciate that, man. And Grant Guthrie, thank you so much as well. Good to see you, as always. Go to the Steam review page before starting it up. Top review has instructions for changing the controls. Base Starfighter controls are just bad. Are bad, just heads up. Gotcha. Okay. I've had to do that with a few games, man. On Steam. Shadows of the Empire was one of them, actually. And I will absolutely do that, mess around with those. It's so cool, Grant, that is an option. Not only, like, yeah, you can change the controls, right? You can do that with any game, pretty much. But with Steam, there are, like, user-generated control schemes that you can download from users. And they're listed in, like, most popular to least popular, and it's just cool that these control schemes can be shared between players, and you know, somebody might have a better setup than somebody else, and it's just boom right there. So yeah, I will absolutely do that, Grant, right after this stream, and I will set that up and make sure it is working correctly. But I appreciate the heads up there, Grant. In interest, streaming on your computer has an extra 5-second delay for streaming from your phone. Oh, really? Okay. An extra. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, I've always... the streams nowadays are like, I think, 10 to 20-second delays. On my end, I mean. On my end, so... I don't know. Benjamin B., thank you so much for the channel support. Star Wars quote quiz. Identify the source. Okay, this is fun. Don't call me a mindless philosopher. That is C-3PO. Number 2, luminous beings are we? That's Yoda. Number 3, you're not alone. Is that Kylo? Let me look this up. Is that Rey to Kylo? Well, it's one of the two. I know the scene. I don't know who says it. I can't remember who says it. And apathy is death. Is that from the Clone Wars? That sounds like something that's very Clone Wars-y. I'm going to say... Oh, I don't know. Anakin, apathy is death. Oh, it's KOTOR. Okay. I would never have gotten that. I never would have gotten that. But it is the character that you've mentioned multiple times. Is it Kreia? Is that how you say it? For those of you who have not been in a stream and have not heard me talk about KOTOR or KOTOR 2, I played them back in the day when they first came out. I maybe sunk like an hour or two into them. I don't really remember them at all. I owned both of them. So, yeah. Will you give number 3 to me? You're not alone. I said Kylo, but maybe it was Rey. I don't know. But anyway, Ben, that's actually a cool idea for... I was doing those Star Wars quizzes on Sundays. I haven't done one in maybe like a month, so maybe I will do a quote quiz next time. I think that would be pretty solid. But yeah, Ben, I appreciate that, man. Is it let me see. Is it Rey or is it Kylo? Oh, it is. Okay, it's Kylo. You're not alone. And then Rey says, neither are you. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Anyway, I appreciate that, Ben. I appreciate all those thumbs up as well for old Ian. Oh, wait. Oscar. Oscar, you slipped through. I didn't see it, man. It's not on my... Oh, there we go. Oscar, you were in between two Vinces. Between two Vinces. Shit, man. I apologize there. Oscar says, I think every time you end a live stream, you should play Ferris Bueller's voice clip. The one where he's in the mirror giving the speech? Is that what I'm thinking of? I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I would do that, Oscar, but I have a feeling as soon as I made these live, they would immediately get taken down. So basically all I do nowadays is use pre-approved YouTube music or YouTube music that I've gotten from people, or music that I've gotten approved from people, or sound effects that I grab from YouTube. Other than like the sound effects that I use for Super Chat coming in, everything else is that. And yeah, I've never gotten dinged for a Star Wars sound effect in a live stream, so I just jinxed myself, didn't I? I just jinxed myself. But I appreciate that, Oscar. And Steven Smith, thank you so much for the Super Chat. What time period do you think the next era of Star Wars films will take place in? Well, I appreciate that, Steve. Let me take a quick sip of water. So for me, Steve, I'm guessing it's going to be around well, I don't even know. I was going to say the High Republic era. I like that idea. Even though we don't really know too much about it. But I love the idea of, exploring a completely unfamiliar era. I don't know if it's going to take place in the High Republic era. But for the next series of films, I definitely want them to take place in a time period that we are completely unfamiliar with. Like, I don't want a new trilogy that is parallel to the original trilogy. I don't want that. I don't want a new trilogy that's parallel to the OT or the sequel trilogy. I mean, the prequel trilogy or the sequel trilogy. I want a series of films. I want a trilogy that is, focuses on a time period that is completely new to us, with no strings attached, no characters we're familiar with, no names mentioned, even no knowledge of what happened in the other films. I want something that takes place, maybe the High Republic era is kind of the perfect pool for us to dive in with that kind of stuff, but that's really what I want. Now, what do I think they're gonna do? I have no idea. I have no idea. The cynical side of me makes me think that they're going to go for an era that we're already familiar with. That's the cynical side of me. I hope that's not true. I would love for them to, if it's not, like I said, if it's not the High Republic, I want it to be a time in the past that is fresh and new, and we don't know anything about, you know. But yeah, Steve, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Cool Beans. There we go. I'm very curious about what would be going on after the sequel trilogy. Gray, I have no delusions that the episodic films are over. You know, they said that's the last chapter of the Skywalker saga, episode 9. Sure. Okay, whatever. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, do you think the people in charge of Star Wars and Lucasfilm and Disney and all those folks are going to sit on their hands and just be like, oh, they said 30 years ago that the Skywalker saga, the episodic films are over? No. They're going to make more. And then we're going to find out what happens after the fact, right? So, yeah. That'll be fun. If 30 years, I don't think it's going to be 30 years, but 30 years I'll be 68. That's not too bad. Not too bad. But, Saber Lord 123, thank you so much for the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Saber Lord says, what do you think of the Back to the Future films? I love them. They are among some of my favorite movies. I grew up watching them I grew up watching them as much as I grew up watching Star Wars or Indiana Jones, you know, all the movies that we grew up watching in the 90s pretty much, or the 80s. And Back to the Future is just a chunk of movies that I love through and through. They're so fun. They're so goofy. If like you look at them on paper, they don't, I mean, okay, so a kid and a crazy doctor scientist dude go back in time, and the kid's mom falls in love with the kid, and the kid tries to get his dad to be a little more assertive. And it like on paper it sounds goofy as shit, right? But the movie just it works. It's just a blast. It's so much fun. It's a fish out of water experience and yeah, I love the first movie. It's definitely my favorite. The one that I watched the most, Saber Lord, as a kid, was probably Back to the Future 2. I don't know why. I feel like it's the one that I watched the most. And I think the reason behind that is just because of the future, right? Oh my goodness, the future is going to be incredible. We're going to have hoverboards, flying cars. It's going to be astounding. And that futuristic look really intrigued me, and really I don't know, it really it made me excited about the future, I guess, and I watched it constantly. But so yeah, I love them, Saber Lord. And if there's a set of movies or a franchise that I never want to see remade or rebooted, it's Back to the Future. I zero desire to see any remake, reboot of any Back to the Future films. They're just kind of like perfect as they are. What would be the point? You would never have the cast. I don't know. Everything just molded so well. It was the perfect amount of goofiness. I never want to see those remade. Get out of here with that idea. Luckily, I've never even heard that idea come up, but please no. But yeah, man. I appreciate that, Saber Lord. Those are some movies that I'm super excited to show my daughter when she gets older. But yeah. Anyway, so guys, that was 30 minutes on the dot. 30 minutes of a little hangout. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. this afternoon. Tonight it will be another. Tonight's it's gonna be an hour. I'm gonna shoot for an hour tonight. I'm gonna be playing. Hopefully, if I'm able to get it running and everything going smoothly. I'm going to be playing Star Wars.
They need to go
one sec.
ahead and pick up your Cheers-style Cantina show. I'd watch a show set in Ogre's Cantina. I've yet to try a fuzzy tauntaun, by the way. Can't wait to get back to parks when it's safe.
Vince Wynn, thank you so much, man. No worries. I greatly appreciate that, Vince. Thank you so much, man. Let me read this. Vince Wynn says, they need to go ahead and pick up your Cheers-style Cantina show. I'd want a show set in Oga's Cantina. I've yet to try a fuzzy tauntaun, by the way. Can't wait to get back to the parks when it's safe. Yeah, you are probably closer to the parks than I am even, right? Let me see. You can get a flight. Oh no, no, wait. No. I was not thinking correctly. Never mind. I was not thinking correctly. But yeah, so I've never tried any of the adult beverages, Vince, at Disney World. I wish we could have gone to the cantina when we were there. We were at Disneyland, and when we went into the park, we were lucky that we got into the park. Jay, one of the EA guys, Ingram, you might follow him on Twitter, was able to work his magic and get us into the park, and obviously all of the spots, you had to put your name in on a list to get into the cantina super early in the morning. We weren't able to do that, so next time. So I've never tried anything either. They look fun. A Star Wars Cheers style cantina show would work. I don't think they'll ever make it like as a real thing, you know? But to me, Vince, that idea is just ripe for fan film. You know, or like a fan series on YouTube. People, man. People could make it at, what is it? Smuggler, or what is that called? What is that bar called in LA? I went to it. There's a bar in LA that just looks, it's a Star Wars bar. You know, they have the Mos Eisley Cantina seats in there. It's really cool. I can't remember the name of it. I went to it when I was out there. But somebody with the resources, like Kevin Smith sometimes hosts podcasts out of that bar. It's bothering me. LA Star Wars bar. Scum and Villainy. It's called Scum and Villainy. And, yeah, somebody with a camera crew and some masks could make something silly and fun like that, right? That would be awesome. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's called Scum and Villainy. It's out in LA, and I went out there with a bunch of other Star Wars YouTubers and some of the EA, the Battlefront 2 developers, and it was really cool, man. Really, really cool. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, obviously they have a huge gimmick behind them, right? But it's a pretty cool place. Pretty cool place. But I appreciate that, man. And Oscar Rodriguez coming in with a final super chat and channel support of the stream. Oscar says, you know what? I want a Goonies-style Star Wars film starring young boy Anakin and some younglings, and a Pulp Fiction-style solo sequel. I like both of those ideas. I love... Dude, Oscar, there's something about, like, those 80s childhood adventure flicks, right? Like Stand By Me is a perfect example, too. And Goonies, perfect examples. There's something about the... I mean, shit. There's a reason that so many people love Stranger Things, right? Yes, it is very nostalgic to see a show that kind of plays up the old 80s style adventure flicks that star kids cursing and stuff. It's just fun. It's fun. And I've always had a soft spot for that kind of stuff. A Star Wars movie or show that would be like that would instantly pique my interest. I don't know what it is about that kind of stuff. I mean, it seems to appeal to young kids too, and also adults, because we can go back and put ourselves with our group of friends when we were kids, and we can see ourselves in those kind of characters, right? Cutting up, cursing, going into the woods, acting up, and I would love to see something like that, but in Star Wars. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just fun, right? Just absolutely fun. And a Pulp Fiction style Solo sequel, sure. I mean, the video that I uploaded today, I talked about, I think a Solo sequel would be fun. It's not something that I'm like desperately needing, but if they made it, I like Solo just enough to want more fun adventures. I would like a Solo sequel to be a little even more lighthearted and goofy than what we got with Solo. Everybody always talks about the Snyder cut. Everybody talks about the JJ cut, the Abrams cut. I want the Lord and Miller cut of Solo. That's the cut that I would want, Not that it exists, and I'm not going to press for it, and I don't really care that much. But I would have loved to see what they came up with. I have a feeling it was a lot more lighthearted and fun. But yeah, anyway. I dig it, Oscar. I dig it. And I appreciate that final super chat, man. So, I got a jet. But yeah, everybody, tune in tonight around 7:30 p.m. I'm going to be playing an hour's worth of Star Wars Starfighter if I can get it to work. We'll see. I appreciate the recommendation there, Grant. Crossing my fingers. I'm going to test it right after I get off here. So, all right, everybody. Thanks to everybody who supported the channel through super chats. To everybody who just hung out, thanks for hanging out. And yeah, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. We're ending the stream with the same song that we started the stream. Dig it. All right, guys. See ya.